It is time for another Super Saiyan. No, wait. Well, it is partly Super Saiyan, but Super Saiyan God Vegeta mod. The last one that I did was Vegeta, so it's fitting. But let's go ahead and put it up to... Let's go up to 8 characters this time. I think it's a decent number to go for. CPU strength 100. It's a bit of a shame that it's not the same strength as the... what do you call it, as the arcade mode. It's still a decent strength nonetheless. But I hope you guys are having a great day as always. And if you do enjoy today's video, consider leaving a like and subscribing if you are new. Been having a lot of fun with these mod videos, and initially I didn't do commentary on them, which is probably a big mistake. But from now on, every single one is going to be having commentary. It just makes the video a lot more entertaining in my opinion, obviously, and you get to hear my sexy voice. What? Right, I know some people aren't too fond of the accent, but you know what? It's fine. A lot of people like it, so it's not something I can change. But the point is, here we have it, and you're probably wondering, haven't I shown this one off before? Hold up, you shall see the greatness. And no, Uganda Knuckles is just going to piece the scene. Let's make this a Vegeta showcase. And is there... No, there is another Vegeta, so let's begin you in there. Who knows? We may come up against another... Okay, so this is what I actually have to do, so I don't mess it up. And are these not... Did I choose... Hold up. Super Saiyan God. I swear there was supposed... Okay, apparently he hasn't added them yet, but I'm pretty certain that at some point I saw... Wait, I could have double Super Saiyan God in the team. Do I want to do that? Nah, let's go Super Saiyan God. And let's go with copy Vegeta, because why not? Actually, I think it's... No, because I just need to decide it. Make your mind up, Alex. Okay, let's go with the Resurrection F outfit, and then with the Ginyu... We'll just go with the red, because red's my favorite color. But anyway, let's see how well or how good it looks in the game. And I can't remember the name exactly, so I do apologize. But one of the modders has been creating a lot of these mods. Big shout out to him. We'll leave the link in the description. He is working on changing the auras and such for the... Oh, that looks so good. Shame about the blue aura, but it looks so good. But that kind of leads into my point. He's been working on changing the auras, and the one that he's currently working on now is Super Saiyan God. And I feel like Super Saiyan God is definitely a fan favorite transformation, but I mean, I feel like the reason why they didn't add it to the game is because Super Saiyan Blue is just the form right now. It's that form, you know, it's the form that they go to in the anime like 99% of the time, and Super Saiyan God wasn't even brought back up until the Tournament of Power, and it's like, well, by the time that it did return in the Tournament of Power, I'd imagine that they were already done in the game. It would have been cool to see Super Saiyan God as a part of maybe a level 3, pardon me, super attack, or even a dramatic finish. The dramatic finish with the Beerus, that would have been dope. It's not to say that Super Saiyan God won't ever be in the game, because it's definitely a possibility, but it's a cool looking form. I mean, we still have the mods as well, so I'm curious to see what they do with the mods. Because if they can, in fact, change the aura, despite... I mean, from what it looks like a lot of effort, by the way. So, it's like, if they can perfect the auras with mods, despite it taking a long time, I definitely think it's worth the effort, because it's just such a great-looking form, in my opinion. So, gonna hit him with the final flash here, which will most likely be the end of him. Never mind. I realized, oh wait, he's not blocking. And funnily enough, he is using Ginyu himself, and that is something I brought up in the previous videos. I just keep dropping that combo. I need to get back into the training, back in the lab, to practice that, and it's just such a simple thing that okay, I picked up the Sensi beam there. It's just such a simple thing that you wouldn't expect me to mess up. There we go. More of that. And then I was about to hit him with the final flash step, but I kind of messed up. Let's hit him with the Resurrection F outfit here. And do we ever see... No, we do. I was about to say, do we ever see Vegeta in the Resurrection F outfit as a Super Saiyan? And I realized we have the Universe 6 versus the Universe 7 tournament, which I'm not too fond of that particular arc. I mean, it was cool, but it's like, I wasn't too big of a fan of it. When it comes to... when Super started to get really good, in my opinion, it was definitely the Future Trunks arc, because I'm a big fan of the Future Trunks arc. And he should be done here. Yeah, there we go. That is him over and done with. Just kind of walked into it casually, like, yeah, I'm just done with life. But to be honest, I'm a big fan of the Battle of Gods arc, specifically the fight. But I feel like there were a few episodes... Okay, there was like one episode of the fight where it's just kind of like, yeah, whatever, this is just completely pointless. The one where they're just like, they have like the Shadow Dragon... Not the Shadow Dragon auras, but they legit have like aura dragons just everywhere, which is... I mean, it's whatever, it's kind of weird. It was different at the very least, but it was just literally them screaming the entire episode, just clashing fists. But it's like, this is kind of reminiscent of what would happen in Z anyway, but people just didn't like it. And I feel I don't want to start like a Dragon Ball Z versus Dragon Ball Super debate here, but I feel like that's one of the things that people kind of need to let go of. Like, you can't compare the two series because they are made in completely different eras. Toriyama isn't like 100% involved now. He doesn't have a publisher to tell him if his idea. What the hell is this? Do you want to open game bar? No, I don't. I don't know why that decided to randomly pop up, but let's go back to what I was saying. Toriyama is involved, but he's not exactly like writing everything. And say what you will about the writing in certain scenarios, when it comes to the Future Trunks arc, it is admittedly my favorite arc in the entirety of the series. And the thing about me is that I acknowledge that it has certain issues. I'm actually in the process of rewriting that particular arc in the best way that I think it, in a way that I think it basically should have gone. And it's a bit of a shame because I definitely feel like some of the things that were quote unquote bad about it mostly comes down to the fact that the schedule was just so bad. So hopefully, when a new Dragon Ball series starts, Dash returns, it could be Super, it could be something completely different. I'm hoping that the production schedule is good. I'm hoping that we can move past Toriyama in a sense, or like, because let's be real here. Toriyama isn't involved enough as it is, and I don't necessarily feel like he cares. It's not like he doesn't care, because he clearly does care to a sense. I mean, it's a series. To say that he doesn't care is just, you know, stupid, because he clearly does care. But it's like, I think we need to pass on the torch to someone that can write a good story. And it's not to say that, again, it's not to say that he writes bad stories, but it's like, it's going to get to the point where Toriyama just is going to kind of get fed up, and it's just going to be like, okay, I've kind of just don't feel like I'm in the mood to write these stories. And that's kind of why he just didn't do anything Dragon Ball related for years, up until the Battle of Gods arc, of course, and the movies. So that was a good start. And then it's like, he did the Future Trunks arc, which from what I've heard, he didn't necessarily want to do, but the writers at Toei kind of convinced him to do so. And in my opinion, he did a good job of doing it. I don't think the story that we got was what he envisioned initially, but I personally like the way that the story played out in the anime. Do I think that the ending should have been stretched out over like 2 or 3 episodes? Yes. But I still genuinely enjoy episode 66. My only gripe with it is that they didn't emphasize the fact that Merger Mastery was extremely damaged, and that comes down to the fact that there were just certain laws in Japan now that restrict him from like showing blood. And Shida himself, and if you don't know who Shida is, he animated the part in episode 57, if I'm not mistaken, of Goku and Trunks versus Goku Black and Zamasu, and of course Vegeta Blue versus Zamasu, or a portion of it at the very least. The very well animated portion of that particular episode. He even said himself that because of certain regulations in Japan, they can't add blood, or just, you know, they can't necessarily it's not that they can't show battle damage, but the best way to show signs of battle damage is by showing blood, right? So because they couldn't exactly show any blood, it kind of limited them in showing how much battle damage Merger Mastery has taken. Because I feel like if they showed how much battle damage Merger Mastery took, people wouldn't necessarily care that much about Rage Trunks taking out Zamasu. They emphasized multiple times that Merger Mastery, of course, wasn't like healing up because his immortality was essentially failing. I feel like people tend to kind of overlook that, and even Gowasu himself said that the reason why he looks like that, the whole half purple thing, is because he is basically corrupt inside. Like, every second that passes, Vegeta is beating the crap out of him. Let's get something down here. Like, they didn't nerf Vegeta, call it a retcon, but I think the 1 hour thing is perfectly viable. It was a good decision on their part, explains the thing in the Buu Saga for one, and it just, like, it makes sense. It doesn't make Vegeta a go-to thing every single time, because now it's like, okay, Vegeta clearly has a limit. If we fuse, we know that it has a limit, so we can't resort to that every single time. And that's the thing. If something was to ever go wrong again, they would just be like, okay, let's fuse again. So I do like that they added that particular I hate calling it a retcon, but I'm just going to call it a retcon just for the sake of argument's sake. But yeah, essentially a retcon. So I'm kind of glad that they did add that. I mean, it's not like it's going to be something that we see consistently, but Vegeta from the start was just extremely overpowered, and whilst it's cool to see him, it's like, well, if they are just going to result to Vegeta every single time, then it's like, oh, okay, Vegeta is obviously going to come now. So I'm glad that they added that Potara retcon, so to speak, and Loki getting demolished right now. Okay, is this the final already? I can't just breeze past that. I'm just talking to you guys. But yeah, when it comes to the actual ending, I think if they emphasize a little bit that, well, they kind of did. They kind of emphasized that his power was draining, and it was draining clearly, because he's getting absolutely demolished by Vegeta. And it's like, why didn't the final Kamehameha take him out? You have to realize that whilst his immortality is failing, he is still like half immortal. It's not just going to take him out. And we saw previously how whenever they tried to take out just regular Zamasu, the fusion, well, he would just heal himself up without any issues. Like, Goku blew this man's head off, and he didn't even have, like, any issues. He just recovered instantly. So we can assume that this same kind of happened with Masu. He wasn't healing completely. He was still healing, but, like, not as much as he was before, which... Oh, I missed it. I missed it! Damn it! I tried to go for the body switch. But yeah, he was clearly still healing, but not to the extent that he was before, which... Okay, yeah, yeah, it's over, fam. There we go. But not to the extent that he was healing before. And I feel like that's something that people tend to overlook. So, yeah, he was healing. Not as much as he was before. He was extremely hurt. But they just simply couldn't emphasize it with the battle damage due to the laws in Japan, which is a bit of a shame. I feel like a quote would have solved that. I could have just said something like, most of his power has been drained. Oh, my word, I'm going to lose. It needs to be done. Yeah, they could have just said something like, majority of his power has been drained, and I feel like people would have been satisfied. But I mean, it is what it is. I think, oh my word, can you not, can you? But I feel like if they added that one quote, it would have solved a few issues that people had with that particular ending. But they should have made it over 2 or 3 episodes. And I feel like that would have been a bit better, because it gives time for people to digest certain things. It gives us a bit more time to, you know, see Vegeta in action, because it's something that we've been waiting for such a long time, I would imagine. Oh my word, I lost. But yeah, it's something that, that we've been waiting for like such a long time. So for it to like not last as long as some people hope for, it's a bit of a shame. Obviously, I would have liked to have seen Vegeta for a bit longer as well, but it just simply didn't turn out that way. And again, it mostly comes... I'm going to play one more match, by the way. It mostly comes down to the fact that the schedule is just so bad. And when I personally have tried to write a story myself, it's tough to, like... It's easy to criticize someone else's story. For example, just trying to, like, rewrite the Future Trunks arc. It's extremely tough, because it's like, you aren't the creator of that story, so it's kind of hard to, like, stay true to the original in some senses, and like still change certain aspects and allow it to make sense. But when you're like kind of writing your own story, you just kind of have because you aren't on a specific, like, you aren't on a set time. Say you aren't on the time limit, it's just way easier because you have all the time in the world to like come up with like different ideas. But when you are on a very strict schedule, like they were with the Future Trunks arc, and possibly even in this arc, because I would imagine that the schedule did improve with this arc, but it's still pretty bad, which is why I'm saying that. I hope that when, or if a new series returns, that we are going to have a, you know, a series with a better schedule. But yeah, like I was saying, stuff like that comes into account. You have to think about the animation, the art. There's just so much that goes into creating a story, and I'm not trying to act like I'm a professional or anything, because I'm most certainly not a professional when it comes to these particular matters. I'm just speaking from what I've heard from guys like Anime, AJ, Geekdom and such. So a lot comes into actually making a story, and you may not necessarily like everything that happens, but it's still their story. Like, I mean, it's not to say that everything is going to be perfect like all the time, because realistically nothing is perfect. Some things are better than others, and obviously in my opinion there's no such thing as bad premises, only bad execution. So yeah, I mean, I thought that, for example, an example of this is that Goku Black, a lot of people thought he was just going to be a massive joke. It's like, okay, this is just an evil Goku, you know, fan service and such. This is going to be a bad idea. But Goku Black was executed extremely well, which is something that people didn't expect. He had great, they did an incredible job of making him menacing. Of course, we had certain scenes that just made his intentions clear from the start and why he was doing those things. And obviously there was that mystery aspect as well, which is like one of the most enticing things about that particular arc. I just kind of wish we saw a bit more of him, and I wish that he was the final villain. It would have been cool to see him take Zamasu out in a certain way, and it would have been cool to see it play out in a different way. Don't get me wrong, I do like Vegeta, but there are certain things that I personally would change, but I still love the arc regardless. And I was about to finish things off there, but I want to finish things off with in a particular way. Okay, let's finish things off with the Divine Lasso here. Okay, never mind. I just decided to instant transmission. Is this going to take him out? No, because he's blocking. Okay, hold on. I got you, fam. Trunks, get back in there. I'll hit you with that lasso. Or Divine, what's it called now in the game? Divine God Slicer Dance thing. Let's have a quick look. Special move list. It is called the God Slicer Dance. I was almost right. I was basically right there, okay? Allow me. And there we go. That is him taking... Are you kidding me? How did I miss? Trunks, my boy. Can you go, please? My boy Trunks is a sinner. He keeps dodging me. Hello? You're a sinner. Get out of here. Are you kidding me? He doesn't want to die. Trunks. Why are you like... Oh, my word. Why? Okay, you know what? You're going to get your ass beat by your own dad. Okay. Let's make this fitting. Let's try to replicate what happened in the series. Is that what you want, Trunks? Is that... I missed. Is that what you want, Trunks? Wait. Oh, there we go. Managed to take him out there finally. Damn, get out of here, Trunks. Right, well, I hope you guys did enjoy the video. Somehow that kind of turned into a future Trunks arc discussion. Oh, boy. Well, that is the Super Saiyan God Vegeta mod. Still my favorite form. And, yeah. Wow, why does Goku Black Cell look so weird there? I hope you guys did enjoy the video as always. And if you don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. And I will see you all in the next one.